Tonight, rocking the vote in the Granite State. Barack Obama and Mike Huckabee land in New Hampshire, looking to build on their stunning wins in Iowa.
Change is coming to America in 4 days' time.
For Hillary Clinton and Mitt Romney, the heat is on. I'm Katie Couric. Also tonight, high anxiety. Stocks plummet as unemployment rises. Is this the clearest sign yet? We're headed into a recession. All's not quiet on the Western Front. A blizzard in the mountains, drenching rains on the coast, and hurricane-force winds all over. And reaching new heights, trying to climb Mount Kilimanjaro at the age of 7.
It's not impossible to do something. You just have to believe in yourself to do it.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Good evening, everyone. Well, no rest for the weary in a presidential race. All the candidates have moved on to New Hampshire today after big wins in Iowa by Barack Obama and Mike Huckabee. We'll have a full report on Campaign 08 in a moment. But first, the economy, something that's of paramount concern to voters. In fact, according to our latest poll, it's the #1 issue after Iraq. With good reason. Tonight, there are more signs of a looming recession. Unemployment edged up to 5% last month, the highest rate in 2 years. That news sent the Dow into a nosedive. It fell 256 points. The NASDAQ lost 98. And there's real concern the economy has essentially stopped creating jobs. More now from Anthony Mason.
Workers at this Chrysler plant in Illinois are now part of the unemployment statistics. More than 1,000 of them got their pink slips this week.
Everybody got bills to pay, kids to take care of, mortgage to pay. It's a bad deal, you know.
Bad and getting worse. The unemployment rate shot up last month after the economy added a meager 18,000 jobs. Its worst showing in more than 4 years. And the private sector actually lost jobs, 13,000 of them. Among the hardest hit industries, construction, with 49,000 layoffs. With the housing slump, 176,000 construction jobs have now been cut since July.
Any time that the economy slows down the way it has, you're at a much higher risk that something else will come out of left field and knock you over the edge.
President Bush admitted as much after a meeting with Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson and Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke.
There are signs that will cause us to be ever more diligent and to make sure that good policies come out of Washington.
To calm financial markets and ease the credit crunch, the Fed said today it'll make another $60 billion in credit available to banks. But as the Dow's 250-point drop showed, Wall Street is still worried that the risks of a recession are rising. Anthony Mason, CBS News, on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Now to Campaign 08, and it's a brand new campaign for the Democrats now. Barack Obama's win in Iowa marked the first major victory for an African-American candidate in a presidential race. While Hillary Clinton remains the frontrunner in New Hampshire, Obama is hoping his momentum will help him go 2 for 2. Here's Dean Reynolds.
The Obama steamroller pulled into New Hampshire today, catapulted by the big win in Iowa and eager for more.
In 4 days' time, you can choose hope over fear. In 4 days' time, we can choose unity over division.
Hoarse and sleep-deprived, Obama drew a big crowd in Concord, where his pitch varied little from the message that clicked with Iowans.
It is your turn to stand up for change in America.
Later, independents in the audience practically made his argument for him.
And what he's pushing is change, and Hillary does represent an established political machine.
And it appeared Iowa gave Obama a telling bounce here.
The ability to win elsewhere is important.
Indeed, the scope of Obama's victory in Iowa was stunning. Among voters under 30, he swamped his main rivals. And among those attending a caucus for the first time, he easily prevailed. Most significantly and surprisingly, he won the backing of women, trumping what was thought to be a ready reserve of support for Hillary Clinton. Clotheslined by a 9-point loss, the New York senator said what a third-place finisher would.
Iowa does not have the best track record in determining who the parties nominate. Everybody knows that.
The former First Lady is counting on New Hampshire's famously contrarian electorate to give her a chance. to subject Obama to more thorough scrutiny in Concord than he received in Council Bluffs, especially regarding his limited Washington experience, certain to be a message mantra in the days leading up to Tuesday's primary.
A lot of these issues, it's hard to know exactly, where he stands, and people need to ask that.
And one of the effects from Iowa has already registered. The Obama campaign is reporting a big surge overnight in online donations. Katie?
Dean Reynolds in New Hampshire tonight. Dean, thank you. Mike Huckabee's Iowa win was every bit as impressive as Obama's. In a matter of weeks, he went from nowhere in the polls to capturing the GOP caucuses. But he faces an uphill battle in New Hampshire, where John McCain is now the frontrunner, followed by Mitt Romney and Rudy Giuliani. Huckabee's in 5th place there, behind Ron Paul. Nancy Cordes now on Huckabee's next challenge.
And let's rock the House.
Mike Huckabee is reveling in what he considers a David versus Goliath victory.
People really are more important than the purse. And what a great lesson for America to learn.
The 52-year-old former Arkansas governor was positively giddy as he boarded a late-night plane bound from Iowa to the next battleground.
I'm just going to make faces in your camera lenses.
Showing snapshots taken when he got the big news.
This is a picture of us looking at our Blackberries.
After being delayed on a flight on the way back from a caucus site.
To win by 9 was pretty amazing.
Evangelicals came out strongly for the former Baptist minister, but they weren't the only ones. Women, young people, those who said the most important issues were immigration, Iraq, and the economy, all gave the edge to Huckabee.
Hey, Nancy, how are you?
Governor, congratulations.
He's hoping the results send a message to the GOP establishment, which hasn't exactly embraced his man of the people platform.
Republicans have got to, once again, start talking about those issues that empower the middle class and that just recognize that 80% of our jobs come from small business owners.
Good morning, guys.
His rival Mitt Romney's election strategy was based on early wins in Iowa and New Hampshire. He outspent Huckabee 15-1 in Iowa, but says he's satisfied with the silver.
Thanks, you guys.
I would have loved to have been able to come in second without spending money. Had I been a Baptist minister, I perhaps could have chosen a different path.
The former Massachusetts governor is back on home turf in more secular New Hampshire, where he's contending with a resurgent John McCain.
Those two will be duking it out over the next 4 days, and the upside for Mike Huckabee is he can just stand back and stay positive. Success here in New Hampshire would be a strong third-place finish, Katie, before heading to South Carolina, where he leads in the polls.
All right, Nancy Cordes, thank you. As for surging John McCain, he hopes history repeats itself in New Hampshire, and that tops tonight's CBS News Campaign 08 Notebook. McCain says he's actually battling a Democrat, Barack Obama, for the voters who helped McCain win New Hampshire in 2000.
People say the independent voters are either going to go to me or to Senator Obama, and that means that I can compete in the general election for the independent voter.
McCain also told our Kelly Kobiea that New Hampshire is a must-win state for him. Democrat John Edwards raced into New Hampshire today, spoiling for a fight after narrowly claiming second place in Iowa.
Listen, I'm the underdog. There's no question about that. But can I just tell you, I've been in these kind of fights all my life.
Edwards today compared himself to Seabiscuit, the racehorse who beat huge odds to become a legendary champion. Perhaps the biggest factor in Barack Obama's Iowa victory was turnout. 239,000 took part in the Democratic caucuses, the most ever, and nearly twice as many as in 2004. What's next? Our premier political prognosticators, Bob Schieffer and Jeff Greenfield, are in New Hampshire. Bob, do you think Mike Huckabee and Barack Obama can actually replicate their successes in the Granite State?
I think it's going to be much harder for Mike Huckabee. For one thing, he doesn't have much money. He doesn't have much organization. What he did in Iowa was bring together a lot of religious conservatives in a state where there are a lot of religious conservatives. I'm not sure he's going to find that same situation down the road in New Hampshire here, for example. Barack Obama is a totally different situation, I think, Katie. I mean, he brought new people to the polls. He talked about real change. I watched him today, and when he said, do you want the same old people doing the same old things. It really clicked with the audience. There's a kind of a 60s kind of movement feel about this. These new people coming into the process. I think if he can continue to click like he did today, I think he can replicate what he did in Iowa.
And Jeff, what do you think the cornerstone of the Clinton campaign will be from here on out?
Oddly enough, they sound a little bit like Giuliani. They're pointing to the later states on February 5th. They're saying, look, Iowa was small. You know, they're kind of denigrating the caucuses. It's one little state. Remember, California, New York, Arkansas, New Jersey. I think they are setting the stage for a loss here in New Hampshire, a loss in South Carolina, where half the voters of the Democratic primary are African Americans. One of them even told one of our people at CBS about experience, saying, well, experience is important. Remember how disastrous the first 2 Clinton years were. I rather doubt Hillary Clinton will be running on the issue that her husband's first 2 years proved you need an experienced person in the White House. But the idea that they're planning for a loss, I think, is way different from what the Clinton campaign was saying just a few months ago.
All right, Jeff Greenfield and Bob Schieffer, thank you both so much, and I'll see you Monday in New Hampshire. There is much more CBS News ahead. Up next, the West is hit with the worst winter storm in decades.